Fork in the Road. Here is a short story about a farmer who discovered that every thought points the mind toward either fear or peace. At sunrise, Elias carried his old pitchfork into the fields. He had worked the same land for 40 years, yet that morning the farm seemed strangely divided. A narrow road ran between the wheat fields and split beneath a crooked oak tree. One path curved toward a dark valley covered in gray clouds. The other rose gently toward golden hills glowing in the morning light. Elias rested the pitchfork across his shoulder. "I have walked past this tree every day," he said. "There has never been a fork in this road." A scarecrow beside the fence suddenly turned its straw head. "Perhaps the road was always here," it said. "Perhaps you were too busy thinking to notice." Elias nearly dropped his pitchfork. "Scarecrows do not speak. Neither do fearful thoughts," the scarecrow replied, "yet you listen to them all day." From the dark path came a familiar voice. "You are falling behind." Another voice followed. "The harvest will fail." Then another. "The neighbors are doing better than you." Soon the entire valley echoed with warnings, comparisons, regrets, and imagined disasters. Elias felt his chest tighten. "I should inspect that road," he said. "There may be trouble ahead." The scarecrow pointed toward the pitchfork. "You already have the tool you need." "This?" Elias asked. "It turns the soil. It can also help you recognize a thought that divides." The farmer studied its 3 iron prongs. The first was labeled past, the second fear, the third separation. Elias had never noticed the words before. A dark thought rose in his mind. You must control everything or everything will be lost. The pitchfork became heavy. The scarecrow asked, "Where is that thought taking you?" Elias looked toward the shadowed valley. "To hell, apparently." "Then why follow it?" "Because it sounds convincing. A road does not become wise because it is well traveled." Elias lowered the pitchfork and faced the thought. "You have no power over my peace." The dark voice faded. The pitchfork became lighter. Another thought appeared. "Your brother should have helped you more." The farmer immediately imagined old arguments, unpaid debts, and every disappointment he had carefully stored. The pitchfork pulled toward the valley again. "Where is that thought taking you?" asked the scarecrow. Elias paused. "Back into a story I have already suffered many times." "Do you want the story or the peace?" Elias opened his hand. The grievance fell away like dry soil. A warm breeze moved through the wheat. From the golden path came no argument, command, or warning. It offered only a quiet invitation. "Come this way." "What will I find there?" Elias asked. The scarecrow smiled. "You will not know by standing at the fork." Elias took one step toward the golden hills. A new thought arose. What if choosing peace means ignoring the world? He stopped. The scarecrow asked again, "Where is that thought taking you?" Elias looked carefully. Beneath the concern was fear. Beneath the fear was the belief that he was alone and personally responsible for everything. That one leads back to separation too. He released it. In the silence that followed, another thought arrived, not as a voice from the road, but as a quiet knowing within him. "Visit your neighbor. His family needs food." Elias looked at his full wagon. "That thought feels different." "It does not accuse, frighten, or demand," said the scarecrow. "It simply shows you what is yours to do." Elias loaded fresh bread, corn, apples, and jars of honey into the wagon. He walked toward his neighbor's farm, not to prove he was generous, not to earn gratitude, and not to make himself good. He went because love had become the first action. Along the way, fearful thoughts still appeared. Some pointed toward the past. Some predicted disaster. Some whispered that he was better or worse than others. Each time, Elias planted the pitchfork firmly in the earth and asked, "Where is this thought taking me?" If the answer was fear, guilt, judgment, or separation, he did not fight the thought. He simply refused to follow its road. If the thought brought peace, kindness, clarity, or a simple, helpful action, he walked with it. When he reached his neighbor's house, the family welcomed him with tears and laughter. Their crops had been damaged by a storm, and they had been quietly wondering how they would eat. Elias understood then that choosing heaven was not an escape from the world. It cleared the mind so love could move through it. That evening, he returned to the oak tree. The dark valley had vanished. Only one road remained, shining beneath the stars. "What happened to the other path?" he asked. The scarecrow became still again, but the answer arose within him. It was never a road. It was only a thought you believed you had to follow. Elias placed the pitchfork beside the tree as a reminder. Whenever his mind reached a fork, he would no longer ask which road looked familiar. He would ask which road led to peace. And then he would walk it. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.